Hi, and welcome to BodySpeak Workshop. We are now streaming live. I'm Dr. Michelle Pedicola, the founder of Second Chance Secrets and Secrets of Life and Death. I am so excited today to share with you my best tool for connecting yourself to your body so that you can start to understand what it's telling you and take care of some of the issues that sometimes come up with our body. Lots of anxiety and triggers. Yes, so we're going to really be talking about that. But before I begin, I would like to share a little context, the paradigm under which I am working so that you can better understand the tool that I'm providing for you today. Assumption number one, the body speaks to you. Now, this is not a huge assumption. The reality is that the body is speaking to us all the time. Now, for some reason, it looks like, okay, there we go. Let's try that again. For some reason, somebody else was in there. So the body speaks to us all the time. And it basically has a vocabulary of two, pleasure and pain. And when it is sending us pain messages, it is telling us that something is wrong, that something's not working right. But sometimes we have no idea what it means. And sometimes it can be emotional, and sometimes it can be physical, and sometimes it can be both. So that's assumption number one. Assumption number two is, and this one may be a challenge for some of you, but I want you to just sort of flow with this. You are a spiritual being having a human adventure. Now, the first time I heard this, I just loved it because it took a lot of the stress out of living this life and trying to get it perfect. I mean, Adventureland, it's like Disneyland. It's like, let's have a great human adventure. So here we are having this great human adventure. And sometimes there's a problem between spirit. Oh, by the way, you can substitute any word you want, superego, higher self. I like to use the word brilliance. So I might be using that interspaced with spirituality or spiritual being, brilliance. So those are the two superpowers we're going to work with today, the brilliance or spirit and the body. There are also two other superpowers, and I'll get to them in a moment. Let's first talk about the body. The body is amazing. And it's also a really powerful force. And it's also very fragile. So it's powerful and it's fragile at the same time. It's amazing. And it is the only vehicle we have to experience this human adventure. Maybe sometime in the future, medical science will come up with a replacement body, but right now, this is it. And if you take good care of your body, it will last you a long time. Your heart beats between 60 and 100 beats per minute. And it does that for 70, 80, 90, 100 years. It's amazing. And there are over 30 billion cells, and they are all working together to help you to live, to eat, to grow, to heal, all these myriad things. Now, the main agenda of the body is to keep you alive. Now, it has some others, but the main agenda, the main function of the body is to keep you alive. And sometimes that agenda gets you in trouble when it comes to what your spirit wants, what your brilliance wants, which is to have a great human adventure, which is to fulfill your mission, is to leave your legacy. And your body wants to be safe. And why is this a problem? Because the habits and the behaviors that your body operates under were formed at a very, very early age. As a spiritual being, you entered this body, this vehicle for your navigation through life, when you were a tiny baby. And you were very vulnerable, very dependent, and reliant on your parents for your every need. And parents make mistakes. Not only do you need food, clothing, shelter, safety, you also need love and affection and acknowledgement and appreciation. And when the baby doesn't get those essentials for survival, they develop patterns to make sure they get them. So, for example, if your family was not safe, you might have developed a pattern of hiding or placating. If you were a child who didn't get enough love because maybe there were too many children in the family, or maybe one of your parents went absent, or maybe your parents were just a little too narcissistic, you would develop patterns that would ensure that you got that attention. Now, these patterns are developed under a condition of fear, fear for your survival, because the human body actually needs to feel safe and wants to feel safe and does everything it can to feel safe. So now you have this tension. As you grow up, you have more and more of this tension between what the body wants and what the spirit wants. So I want you to have a better relationship with your body. You want to listen. You want to hear what your body has to say. And this could be somewhat of a change in the way in which you deal with your body, because most of us have been taught since childhood to tamp our feelings down, not to pay attention to our bodies, to hide our emotions, to be quiet. I mean, if you grew up in a dangerous family, then you might have actually had to hide. So we learn to control our emotions, and yet emotion, energy in motion, emotions need to move. And in the years that I worked with people around grief and loss, one of the biggest problems they had was with allowing their emotions. I had to actually teach them how to release their emotions. Or alternatively, they would get swamped by their emotions. And I want to give you a tool that actually helps you to release your emotions without getting swamped. Wouldn't that be good? So I mentioned that there were two other superpowers in this whole human adventure. So besides the body and brilliance, or your spirit, there's also the brain, which is indeed part of the body, but it's also has a mind of its own, and it cooperates with the body in ensuring its survival. So the body gets afraid and the brain comes up with solutions so that you don't get scared, so you don't experience danger. And these are some of the patterns that I've talked about. That's what the brain comes up with. Now, the brain is this amazing organism. I mean, far more brilliant than the fastest supercomputer out there. And lots of anxiety. Okay, so sorry, I got distracted. So the brain works with the body, but the problem is that the brain sometimes hyperactivates the body to be in a state of fear and anxiety. I had a nightmare the other day, or the other morning, a crazy nightmare about a giant moose. And I woke up in a state of fear. I mean, the heart was beating fast and I was breathing and there was this tension in my chest. And I know it was just a dream. And I thought about how our minds convey stories to our body that trigger those emotional fears. And that is part of the stress that we go through. Some of it is simply our brain hyperactive and hypervigilant, scaring the heck out of your poor body. Now, other parts of it are triggers that we're not even conscious of because they're so deeply ingrained. So that's the brain. And then the fourth element is community. So we're social beings on this human adventure. And as I already mentioned, your parents have a huge influence on how you develop your brain, how you develop your patterns, not only through the way in which you interact with them, but actually they can convey their own fears and their own concerns to you as well. So there are 4 superpowers in your life, and you want to get them all co-collaborating together to have a great human adventure. Now, I'm not going to get to all 4 of them today, but I am going to make you an offer so that there's a way for you to continue with me, to work on your great human adventure. And it's called Co-Creating Your Great Human Adventure. It's a 3-month program. It's a self-study program, but it's interactive. So that means that each week I'm going to be sending you a training for 3 months. I'm going to be sending you a training with information about how those 4 superpowers work. And also I'm going to be giving you exercises and practices to help you to be better at working with those 4 superpowers. In addition, I said it's interactive. I'm going to be answering questions and concerns in a private Facebook group and through an email. So if you have questions and you're on Facebook, great, you'll get your answers first. And if you email me, I will also post my answers both in Facebook and on email so that you will get that support. Now, the advantage of this program is that you don't have to show up at any time. Your program shows up in your email box. And I will also post it in the Facebook group. And you can work on this at your own pace. Now, the investment for this program is $295. Or if you're on a budget, $120 a month. I want to make this doable for you, but I also want you to not blow it off. So that's why $295. How to sign up? I made a tiny URL and I'm going to put it in the chat, but I'm also going to tell it to you for those of you who are listening to the replay. And it's tiny URL /great-human-adventure. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now. And also, I've got a free gift for you, which I'm going to give you at the end of this session when you're very, very calm and you're very, very happy. That's all I'm going to share for now about the paradigm. But just remember that there are 4 superpowers involved in your human adventure. And today we're going to focus on 2 and creating a connection between that brilliant part of yourself and your body. So I want you to make sure that you are in a comfortable position and that you're safe. And you can close your eyes if that feels safe. But if you have some fears about doing that, you do not need to do that. You might want to stare at something that's not going to distract you, but just so that you feel safe. And I want you to start taking deep, slow, relaxing breaths, breathing in with your nose and exhaling with your mouth. Breathing into the count of 5. And exhaling to the count of 5. Breathing in and exhaling. And this time, when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you have roots or tendrils growing out of the soles of your feet and the base of your spine. And they're going all the way down, deep, deep down into the center of the earth. And they are pulling up the energy of earth. So you're breathing in the energy of earth like support, endurance, power, strength, abundance, beauty, and bringing those elements up in through the soles of your feet, up through your body and into your heart, connecting with your own heart energy and feeling the support of earth. And every time you exhale, releasing all tension, all worries, all concerns, all agitations, just letting them slip out through the soles of your feet, out the base of your spine, down the tendrils, down deep, deep, deep into the center of the earth, where they're transformed, where they are incinerated and changed into rich compost that will support the world. So keep on breathing. And this time, as you breathe in, I want you to breathe out through the top of your head and send that breath all the way up into the heavens, connecting with the moon and the sun and all the planets in the solar system. And then sending out beyond the solar system to all the stars in the Milky Way galaxy. And then going beyond the Milky Way galaxy out into all of the universe, to all the galaxies. And when you breathe in, you're going to breathe in the wisdom, the power, the intelligence of the universe. And you're going to bring that energy down, that higher energy down through the top of your head, down through your neck and into your heart. And in your heart, earth energy and heaven energy will connect, like connecting an electric cord. And now you have the energy flowing from below, up, out through the top of your head and back down again in a cycle that flows through your body, up and down, and energizes you and sends and activates every cell in your body, particularly your heart. And I want you to go deep into your heart, and I want you to feel your heart. And out of your heart, you are going to send out 4 powerful archetypes. And archetypes are patterns that we all share as humans. And the first archetype is the masculine archetype, the father, the commander, the seer of all things, the larger picture. And this archetype is golden light. And this golden light totally surrounds you in a field, an oval field, an egg-shaped field that totally surrounds your body, about 2 to 3 feet away from your body. And the next archetype that comes up is the feminine, the goddess energy. And that is pink. And it commingles with the energy of the golden light. And so now you have a rose golden light that's surrounding your body and energizing you. And the next archetype is the warrior. This is the activator. This is the part of yourself that takes the intelligence of the masculine, the bigger vision of the masculine, and the love and compassion of the feminine archetype, and puts it into action in the world. And then the final archetype is the transformer. And this color, well, the warrior was blue, and now the transformer, the crucible, is violet. And so now you have a color of blue and pink and gold and violet. And these energies are totally surrounding your body. So take a moment to feel the support, this almost egg-shaped cocoon that's surrounding you and holding and containing you and supporting you, and earth below and heaven above. And now I want you to go ahead and get into your heart. And with your heart's eyes, I want you to do a body scan. And so what you're going to do is you're going to check through your body from the top of your head all the way down to the toes of your feet, checking for any place in your body that is constricted or hurting or blocked or restricted or hard. And so starting at the top of your head and moving down to your temples. And when you find a place that is restricted or constricted, go ahead and pay attention, just notice it, but keep on scanning your body for other places, because we're going to focus on the one that most calls for your attention. So we went from the head to the temples, now to the sinuses, the nose, and the mouth, and the jaws. Noticing if there's any tension in your jaws. And then moving down to your neck and your throat. Is there any tension there? Anything holding, anything restricted? And moving to your shoulders. Any heaviness? Any holding your shoulders up too high? And down your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, and your hands. Is there any agitation there? And then back to your torso, the front, your lungs, your heart. Is there any heaviness there? Your solar plexus, which is the position between your diaphragm and your belly button. And your back. Is there any tension in your back? Upper back, middle back, lower back, and down in front, your sacrum. This is the energy of creativity, your belly, and then down to your pelvic floor, and then down to your legs, knees, calves, ankles, feet. And then just taking a moment, closing your eyes again, or just paying attention. Where in your body is there some sort of agitation or restriction or contraction or pain? And note it and send your love energy to that area. Say to that area, I am here for you right now. I am listening. I am paying attention. And notice if the sensation changes in your body. Does it lessen a little bit? Does it relax? Does it move? Does it change shape? Does it change sensation? Now I want you to ask that part of your body, what do you need from me right now? What do you need from me right now? And listen. And the answer might be in the form of a picture. It might be a word. It might be a memory. It might be a phrase, whatever comes up. And you will know that it is coming from that place and not from your brain, because you will feel it in your heart. It will feel right. It will maybe even make you laugh. Now, sometimes the body will be a little obtuse. It will not be specific. So you might have to ask it for more details. Like maybe it says, you need to relax more. Okay, I hear you. How do you want me to relax more? Do I need to take a vacation? Do I just need to take a rest right now? Do I need to change my job? How do you need me to relax? And I want you to listen again real carefully. What does your body need from you right now? And listen in. And you can write down anything that comes. And if you don't have a piece of paper, go ahead and write in the chat what you want, what you need, no worries. Or write it on a piece of paper, because you must not forget this. Because you are making an agreement with your body to do something. And in order to develop that trust with your body, you need to follow through. Now, okay, sometimes your body asks for the impossible. Like maybe if you're grieving the loss of somebody, the body might say, I want that person back. You need to bring that person back. So you might ask the body, okay, I hear you. You really miss that person. You miss that so-and-so. But what do you need? If that person were here, what would you receive from that person? And how can I bring that into your life right now? What can I do to give you what you need? Many years ago, I worked with a client, and she had her adult daughter had died of cancer. And I told her that what she needed to do was to hug her other family members because her body needed that connection. And she wouldn't because she only wanted her daughter. But there she was denying her body what her body needed. So you have to think a little out of the box here. And if you have questions, you can go ahead and post them in the chat, and I will answer them as soon as we finish this. So go ahead and finish up, making sure that you know exactly what your body needs, and saying thank you to that part of your body, whether it's your neck or your heart or your head or your feet, thanking your body for interacting with you and feeling the love that you have for that part of your body, feeling that love expanding in you and surrounding and covering your whole body with that love from your heart. And then taking a few deep breaths, bringing yourself back into the moment, into the present, into this time, into this workshop right here and right now. Breathing in deeply, looking for a color to focus on, to bring you back into the present. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I invite you to go ahead and post any of the things that you discovered in this exercise. Anything that your body told you that maybe you're not quite sure about, and I will answer you. And in the meantime, I'm going to post for you the free gift that I offered you. And it is called Body Awareness Activation. And it is a 7-day activation email series that will help you to, if you have trouble connecting with your body, to activate your body. So it's tinyurl/body-activation.com. And you just fill in your information and you get signed up to an email series that will help you to just love your body a whole lot. So if there are any questions, if anything came up for you that you would like, that you have questions about, please go ahead and post them in the chat and I will answer them. Any discoveries, any things that you noticed, go ahead and put them in the chat. And I meant to, I'll have to go to any of you who are on the Facebook Live right now. I will have to go back and I'll have to respond to you there because I'm just on the Zoom call right now. We're almost over, so if there's any questions, so I noticed that one of our participants said that she had a lot of anxiety around triggers, test taking, public speaking, and her voice in general. So that, of course, would be an area that you would really want to focus on, your throat. And maybe there is a message that you need to express, or there is a message that you are afraid to express. And so in working with your body and working on that throat area and finding out what it is that your throat is trying to say to you, what it needs to say, you can start to make ground in releasing the fears, releasing the things that hold you back. Now, I found that when you do this exercise and you really pay attention, the sensations actually change. Now, I notice that some of you are hesitating to go ahead and post in the chat, and that's okay. That's fine. But if you want my help right now, we've only got a few more minutes before we end. So I'm going to just take a moment to let you to answer or share any of your experience. In the meantime, I want to remind you again about the program that I'm starting in a couple of weeks. It's a 3-month. We're going to start in the beginning of April, and I'm going to send each week an amazing training. There are 10 trainings in all. There'll be a week in which I'll just send something in between that's not part of the training, but will answer questions. And we will end with a great workshop. And all you need to do is go to tinyurl.com/great-human-adventure. The investment is $295. You can also sign up for a payment plan. And if you want, you can also upgrade for more support. Reach out to me and we can have a conversation. And that's it for today. Last chance to post your responses, your experience. I understand your hesitation. Thank you so much for joining me. It is my pleasure to share this method. And I will be sending out a replay for you so you get a chance to listen to it again and take your time with it and pause it if you need to give yourself more time, because it takes practice to get good at this. That's it for today. Be brilliant, and bye for now.